Tragic situation here in Orcutt. So just after 8 o'clock tonight, the Public Safety Dispatch Center received a call that there was an injured subject in a bathroom who was in desperate need of medical care. That reporting party was able to make it out of the residence and contact authorities. Sheriff's deputies responded, and when they arrived at the residence that's located at Oak Hill Estates, they contacted and determined that there was an armed subject inside the residence who was armed with a rifle. They also received information that there were additional people inside the home that could be injured. Their conditions were unknown. So it became a situation where they needed to go in and rescue these people that were inside the home. They contacted the armed subject inside the residence when they made entry, and in that situation that unfolded, they were in a position where they had to shoot the subject in order to subdue him. He was transported to the hospital. When they searched the residence, they found 3 deceased victims inside. At this point, we don't have any information that there's any public safety threat. This appears to be a situation where it was isolated to this residence, but again, it's still early at this time, and at this point it appears to be a very tragic situation. So the person who reported the incident to the dispatch, we don't have any information that that person was injured. They just came upon the scene and called dispatch, and were fortunately able to get out of the home and get help.
Can you tell us what kind of weapon he used?
We know there was a rifle. At this point, we don't know. We know he was armed with a rifle, but at this point, we're not releasing any additional information about the weapon.
What's next? What are the next steps for you guys as the investigation goes?
Well, it'll be definitely an all-night investigation for the detectives on scene, the forensics personnel who are responding. The coroner's office will be a difficult job ahead of trying to determine what occurred here, why this happened, who the individual is, who is responsible, the connection with the decedents, contacting their family, making a positive identification of those decedents, and also there was an officer involved shooting. The fact that deputies had to take that level of force in order to subdue the subject, it turns into an officer involved shooting investigation as well. So there's a lot of work to be done here. I mean, here we are a couple days after Christmas. It's normally a happy time of year. Obviously, it's an emotional time of year for a lot of people as well, with families and with different situations. And we don't know what occurred in this situation yet. It's too early to tell. But anytime you have victims that are inside a home that are deceased, it's just tragic, and it's definitely difficult for all personnel who responded to the scene, for the deputies who had to take excessive force in order to subdue the individual. Fortunately, law enforcement was injured in this very, very dangerous situation.
Was it the SWAT team or patrol deputies who entered the...
The special enforcement team responded, and they are the ones who made entry into the residence.
Okay.
Do you know, did they use less lethal, or was it actual ammunition?
The actual details of how that all unfolded we will be releasing, but at this point we want to take time to really put that together for you and explain how that happened. But the main point that you need to know at this time is that deputies were in a situation where they really were going in to rescue victims. They knew that there was several people inside that home. They knew one was in the bathroom and was in urgent need of medical care, and they were, the clock was ticking, and they were trying to get in there. And when they confronted this armed subject, they were in a position, how it played out, where they were had no other choice but to shoot them. It's obviously, I mean, the main thing is just such a tragedy, that we have 3 people here who, are no longer, and it's just very, very heavy that this occurred here in Orcutt, and obviously not even knowing all the details, you just know that that in itself is just, terrible.